On today's episode, we're making our C30 a whole lot cooler. But not with this. This no longer required for this vehicle. Stay tuned. Hey guys, what's going on? And welcome to Shifting Lanes. My name's Chad. This is our 2008 Volvo C30 project car. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you've been watching the series, you know last time we tackled the intake, we've done the exhaust, we've done a tune, we've fitted some brand new wheels to her. But today, we're going to be tackling the old, inefficient front mount intercooler and replacing it with a full kit from Elevate. But before we get into all of that, I want to take a second and thank today's sponsor. No, it is not some random company or big time company for that matter. Today's sponsor and who I'm thanking are you guys. Ever since we've kind of made a little bit of a push for our Patreon page, we've gotten a whole lot more patrons. We went from literally 1 to now 9. Hardly impressive, but those of you who have supported the channel through Patreon, thank you so much. And as a thank you for your guys, we're going to start launching some Patreon exclusive videos that you can only see if you support our channel on Patreon. My first, Hanson has one up there, but my first Patreon exclusive video is going to be why I think, actually, I don't think, I know this car received some kind of front impact and wasn't repaired. Well, let's just say it was repaired on a budget. So if you want to see that video, head on over to our Patreon page, make your support known. We really appreciate it. But as for this, we're going to get down to it, start disassembling, and get the new front mount in. So, steps to removing the bumper. We have Torx bits in the fender here on the wheel well. We have to remove the headlights, which is actually a very simple task. We have another Torx bit right there. 4 of these pop clips, basically the same on the other side. As we go through, we have some clips behind the headlights that we need to worry about. If I had headlight washers, this is where I'd have to pop them out, but I don't, so I don't have to worry about that. If you have fog lights, you're going to need to remove those too. So, should be relatively simple. So let's get to it. So now that we've gotten all the necessary items out, we have these clips that we have to worry about, and the bumper should in theory come off. So as you can see, we have the front bumper finally off. Fought us a little bit. If you have your car, these are for the headlight washers. Just be careful with those because mine are actually broken. Car came that way, didn't know it. All right, so we are halfway through disassembly. We have our old intercooler off, our old tube that this goes from the intercooler to the throttle body, and this shroud here that unless you have the correct tooling is a pain in the rear end to get off using like a wrench or anything like that. So since this part is not being reused with our new intercooler, we just cut it off just using a regular pair of snips. So now we're going to go at the hard pipe, which is underneath the car, and I'll show you once we're finished with that. So as you can see, we have everything off of the car, and I've laid it down next to its Elevate counterpart. And right off the bat, you can tell that everything is just a little bit bigger, a little bit more robust. You have a larger diameter intercooler hard pipe. That's just, again, increased volume of air. It is also made out of steel, just like the stock unit. And that is because this sits right underneath the car. It's going to need to be robust. You're going to kick some stuff up when you're driving. So this needs to be a strong part so it lasts. And luckily, Elevate has designed us such a part. This stock intercooler is pretty good for what it is. I mean, most turbocharged cars these days don't really have a front mount intercooler. Our little C30 does, and it's about 10 years old. Problem with this is at about 50 degrees Fahrenheit or 10 degrees Celsius, anything below that, and this works fine. This works really well. Anything above that, however, and it starts to run out of thermal efficiency. That's why the bigger unit from Elevate, that's where this comes into play. As you can see, it's a lot bigger. It's also a lot thicker than the stock unit. And that is because Elevate has spent countless hours, days, you want to name it, in R&D making sure that this particular piece, this front mount intercooler, is optimized perfectly for the C30 or P1 platform. Elevate has meticulously welded the uniquely designed exclusive cast aluminum end tanks for the perfect fit into the stock location, so we don't have to modify anything to put our new goodness into the car. The all-aluminum construction features a silver powder-coated finish to retain the sharp appearance of the intercooler. Factory mounting points are retained, as is the MAP sensor mounting position, or manifold absolute pressure. This provides us with information to give to the ECU, so when with our tune and everything like that, the engine will run flawlessly. Maximum thermal efficiency is accomplished with Elevate's design, yielding significant power gains over the stock intercooler. Like I said before, this one runs out of snuff any temperatures over 50 degrees Fahrenheit or 10 degrees Celsius. Now, speaking of power, Elevate doesn't actually advertise how much horsepower or torque we should gain just by going to our new intercooler. The reason they do that is, frankly, all the conditions change. Conditions here in the shop are different to the conditions on the dyno, on the street. They're different from where you guys live. There's too many variables to play to say that this will absolutely gain us 20, 30, whatever horsepower. What Elevate has done is designed a unit that is basically optimized for our C30 platform and will provide proven street and track performance gains over stock and even Elevate's competitors. The big thing with intercoolers is the bigger the intercooler, the more thermal efficient it's going to be. However, there is a downside to that, and that is if you get too big of an intercooler, it blocks your AC condenser, it can block your radiator, and not that it's a problem now when it's 0-ish degrees with the wind chill outside, but you're going to want AC in the summer, and more importantly, you're going to want to keep your car cool. The last thing in Elevate's design on the intercooler is overall weight. Now, as you can imagine, we have a front-engine, front-wheel drive car. There's a lot of weight already in the front of the vehicle. If we were to add too much more, it's really going to upset how the vehicle handles, how it is at high speed, all of this stuff. So Elevate took a lot of time, and that's, again, why this is made out of aluminum, to really keep the weight down. Now, it is a little bit heavier than the stock unit, but not so much where it's going to upset our handling and really be a detriment to the car. That's why with everything, flow, thermal efficiency, overall size, overall weight, Elevate has taken the time to make sure that this intercooler design is perfectly suited for our C30. Now, the only thing left to do is to get this off the bench and get it on the car. So here we are back under the car. We've got the first part of the intercooler upgrade installed, and that is our hard pipe. Now we're going to go top side and get some of the silicone joiners from the throttle body on and kind of have them meet in the middle with the intercooler being the last step. And that's it. Our brand new Elevate front mount intercooler is in the car in her new home. As far as installs go, yeah, there were some fiddly bits. The front right corner fought us a little bit getting the bumper off. There were some clips and things like that were a little bit of a pain in the rear end. But as far as other jobs we've done to this car, this is probably, if not the easiest one we've done. I mean, sure, the wheels were pretty easy, but this was definitely easier than the intake. It was a lot less fiddly and a lot easier to tackle than the exhaust itself. All right, so the tune required me and Greg sitting in a parking lot and just pressing some buttons. But as far as mechanical mods to this car, that was pretty easy. And that was down to probably just the general design of everything and also to Lou. Lou helped me out a ton here. Probably wasn't going to be this easy without him. So big thanks to Lou for helping me out with this install. If you guys liked the video, like what you saw, like what we're doing here at Shifting Lanes, please subscribe if you haven't already. And if it's not too much to ask, hit that thumbs up button. That really helps us get our video out to more and more people inside of the Google/YouTube algorithm. If you want to support the channel in other ways, well, you can go ahead and get some swag. We got our Teespring account right below me. You can go get some DadWagon shirts, some Shifting Lanes branded gear, whole mess of good stuff. We are actually working on some new stuff, so you're going to see a lot of new stuff in very short order, I hope. The second way you can support our channel is by heading over to the Patreon page. I mentioned it at the beginning of the video. We're still in the early stages there, so we don't necessarily have different rewards just yet. However, for any amount you support to the channel, you'll get exclusive, like the video I was talking about earlier, where this car was in an accident and I think it was repaired, well, like I said before, on a budget. But any support you guys give, we hugely appreciate. Any merch you buy, again, hugely appreciated, because every single cent we make from both of those or any of our money-making endeavors goes directly back into making this channel better. So into our builds, better gear, all that sort of stuff. So please, if you guys are looking for a way to support us, those are two great ways to do it. You can always find Shifting Lanes on social media at Shifting Lanes. If you're so inclined or want to hit me up personally, I'm at Chennedy83. This was a good one, guys. This was a real good one. But as for the front mount, guys, that's a wrap, and I'll see you next time.